Now, in this episode of Dragon Ball Super, there are many things to discuss. And for me personally, there was a big bomb drop, a big bomb drop, one that I think changes some foundational conceptions of Dragon Ball as a whole. But that's how big of a drop I think it is. Because throughout my entire shonen viewing career, I suppose, I have heard this time and time and time again when it comes to Dragon Ball. However, this episode seems to go against what I've been told time and time again. But before we get to that, let me talk about Dyspo from a character standpoint for a bit. Excluding his powers, we get to see more of his personality. And in all honesty, maybe it was just me, but in all honesty, Dyspo seemed to have a sprinkle of dark side in him. Like, he pulled out the darkness from his heart. He brought out the mad hair. When he's all stanced up after he hits hit for the first time, and he has that laugh, I'm like, wait. Dyspo? Crack my chinny chin chin. Is that you? Granted, that's probably just how he displays his confidence. But it still looked like he had some darkness in him. And for all the talk about justice, the pooper troopers always go on about, to see Dyspo act that way initially kind of threw me off for a few minutes. That was squashed after hitting Goku start going to town on him and Kunchi. So first and foremost for character, Dyspo, for him and how he acted, to me, his confidence in a way was displayed as like a sprinkle of dark side. That's number one. Number two, going back to the beginning of the episode here, when we have Champa and he's talking to Vados about the image of Dyspo and how he looks. Remember how a lot of folks thought that Dyspo was from the same species as Champa and Beerus? As far as we know, that's not the case, because Champa doesn't refer to that at all when he talks about his appearance and the appearance of Beerus to the appearance of Dyspo. Because Dyspo and Beerus look very similar, but if they're of the same species, that would have at least been noted by Vados, at the very least. Or even Beerus for that matter, or Whis. As far as I can tell, this episode kind of hints that they are not from the same species. Those two have no genetic affiliation with Dyspo. Again, that's only based on the first conversation between Champa and Vados. Maybe it is the case, and in the future they'll reveal that. But right now, Dyspo, he looks like Beerus and he looks like Champa, but they are not affiliated with the same species at all. That's number two. Number three, the Super Saiyan God stuff. I don't know. Honest to God, I don't know. There was no indication that he can go Super Saiyan God. We know that Goku's been training ever since the announcement of the Tournament of Power. But as far as I remember, and as far as I know, there was no hints in the episodes that alluded to Goku being able to use the Super Saiyan God form. But at some point off screen, he did it. It's weird. I want a more, but you know, okay, honestly, even though I want a more detailed explanation as to how this is the case, considering how it's the two omnipresent T's of Shonen, Toriyama and Toei, considering how it's these two magnificent T's, and I'm talking about the bouncy ones, unfortunately, I don't see us getting a detailed explanation as to how this is the case. It's just the case. So in this form, using less stamina than Super Saiyan Blue, which by the way, we do see him use Super Saiyan Blue in Change with Super Saiyan God, which actually is done in the Dragon Ball Cho manga. So it looks like Toriyama, I forgot what his name was, but it's some other guy that draws the Dragon Ball Cho manga. It looks like Toriyama and Toei, the two almighty T's, it looks like they are taking some stuff from the other guy that draws the Dragon Ball Cho manga, which by the way, all of it's canon. So, whatever, all right? I just... Oh, continuity in Dragon Ball. Out the window, gone. Making no sense at all, but whatever. If there was something that a previous episode hinted at that Goku could use Super Saiyan God, then let me know in the, not the comment section, just send me a message on YouTube, because I honestly don't know. Like, it makes sense in a way, considering how Super Saiyan Blue is more powerful than Super Saiyan God, but previously, Goku stated that he needed the Super Saiyan form to tap into the God Ki. Now he no longer needs the Super Saiyan form, hence Super Saiyan God. So moving on. At the end of the episode, Universe 11 only has 3 cats left. Only 3. That is Dyspo, that is Jiren, and that is Toppo. Now, the oh-so-amazing, phenomenal Jiren, we know that him and Goku are gonna wind up fighting this epic battle, and Goku's gonna use this new form, this quote-unquote limit breaker, whatever the fuck form, another form of Goku. And at some point, Dyspo and then Toppo are going to be taken out of the competition. My guess here is that Hit and Dyspo are going to finish their duel, and Hit is going to win. That's my guess. And then, in the process, maybe Toppo, but probably Jiren is going to take out Hit. Maybe Toppo, but probably Jiren. Let's be real here. If Toppo takes out Hit, I'm going to be very unsatisfied with that. If it's Jiren, though, because Jiren, honestly, he's been standing there just chilling. Like, it's over. But he's been standing there chilling, doing practically nothing. He does an energy ball or two, and that's it. He smacks something, he psychs out dudes, that's it. I want to see something of Jiren before he fights against Goku. And Hit is the perfect opponent on the field right now to showcase some of Jiren's abilities. We already saw what he did to the legendary Super Saiyan form of Kale. It was boom, over, yeah, like, okay, bro, like, can you show us some more? Nope. I'm Jiren, dog. I'm saving my shit. As far as we know, there is nobody else on the field that can bring out Jiren's skills aside from Goku and like Vegeta probably. I mean, maybe Vegeta, but I kind of see Vegeta and Toppo squaring off. Like, Goku wants to fight Toppo too, but Goku's hogging like all the big name dudes. No, stop. All right. No more. Goku has to stop. He's hogging all the big name cats. At some point, Vegeta's gonna fight one of them as well. So you have Hit and Dyspo, Vegeta and Toppo, ultimately Jiren and Goku, but before that, Jiren and Hit. But even though they have only 3 cats remaining, the God Destruction of Universe 11, as well as the Supreme Kai of Universe 11, they're just chill. Even though we only have 3 guys, we have Toppo, we have Jiren. We're straight, we're cool. Confidence in Toppo, confidence in Jiren. And on top of that, Toppo, he states to Dyspo, forget about justice, now it's about survival. No more games, we're gonna go in there hard, defeat all adversaries, and survive. Toppo is taking off the gloves. Now it's time to put on his big boy pants. Good. So hopefully no more of this, let the girls transform, justice. No. None of that shit. It's time to put on your big boy pants, and it's time to get the job done. So when it comes to story, the biggest things here are clearly Universe 11 losing another guy, and on top of that, Goku using Super Saiyan God. How exactly, again, I don't know, but that's the case. Now, when it comes to the overall pacing of the episode, in all honesty, the pacing, I thought was fine. There were some blots here or there where it just pure stare off. But those little pockets weren't a big deal. It was mainly following Hit and Dyspo in their fight, everyone reacting to what's going down, and then later on, you have Kunchi come in there, he saves Dyspo, then in comes Goku to save Hit, and then that continues on throughout the entire episode. So, the pacing was simple, yes, but it made perfect sense. It was very streamlined. Overall pacing, I thought was solid, okay, plus a good. When it comes to character, this is where, for me, things get pretty big, like very big. Number 1 is Toppo, and very quickly, Toppo has enough intelligence to realize that Hit was setting up a trap for Dyspo. He was adapting to Dyspo's speed, and on top of that, when he was sent to the edge of the ring, he uses his pocket world, pocket dimension, intangibility thing that we saw previously with him versus Goku. Dyspo phases right through Hit. So a trap was set up, but if not for Toppo realizing that a trap was being set up by Hit and him not sending Kunchi to help Dyspo, Dyspo would have been taken out of the competition. Number 2 for character, again, Goku using Super Saiyan God form somehow, some way, but he now has this form in his arsenal, it's there. Number 3, the main meat, the juicy steak, Dyspo. Dyspo has an ability, and this ability allows him to accelerate his speed several thousands of times over in an instant. And in doing so, according to Toppo, Dyspo has surpassed the speed of sound, surpassed the speed of light. So, according to Toppo's words in the anime, which is canon, Dyspo is faster than light. He's FTL. The whole speed of sound and then jumping up the speed of light was kind of crazy because I'm like, wait a second, hold on. The speed of light is so much faster, it is mind-numbing. So the fact that he put the speed of sound and then speed of light in the same sentence, I mean, at least have lightning and then light. don't have freaking sound in light. The jump is astronomical in speed between those two. But Popo nonetheless states that Dyspo is faster than light. The only other things I can say that are faster than Dyspo in the series thus far are the instant transmission, which is essentially instant, and when the angels touch the ground to sometimes ferry the gods of destructions across the universe. That's faster, I would say, because they're moving across vast space in a few minutes. So I would say that it's faster than Dyspo moving, absolutely. However, it is important to note that he is simply FTL. That is the key thing here. According to Topo, he is FTL. Nothing more, nothing less when he accelerates in that one instant thousands of times over his base speed. You see, over the course of my shonen viewing over the years, my shonen viewing career, I have been told many times Dragon Ball Z fighters are massively faster than light. Like 100 times, 1,000 times faster than light. When it comes to instant transmission, it's instant. So yes, when it comes to being faster than light, it is. Because you're teleporting, essentially. Using it in combat seems to be fairly shaky. Even for a character like Goku, that's number one. Number two is that when it comes to the angels using their staves to travel across the universe, it's just that. It's traveling across the universe. This is combat speed we're talking about here. And when it pertains to combat speed, Dyspo is faster than light for an instant. So now that we understand that, we have a gauge of the other characters and how they react to the faster than light movement of Dyspo. And lo and behold, the god of destruction, Champa, cannot perceive the movements of Dyspo. Not only that, but the Zen-O's.
Holy Jesus.
The babies that can destroy the multiverse, they can't even perceive Dyspo's speed. It looks like the only cats that can perceive his speed, more so get glimpses of his speed, are the angels. That to me is big news, headline news. We are getting FTL confirmation, but we're not getting anything close to combat speed that is 100 times faster than light. Not even close. And on top of that, the speed of Dyspo is so great to where he's cutting off hit before he can use his time stop, but that's mainly because of his hearing. He's able to actually hear when his body tenses up to use the time skip. All hit is doing is just tensing up his body for a split second. In that fraction of a second, Dyspo is speed blitzing him. He's the blitz captain, apparently. He's the blitz captain of the Pride Troopers. In that fraction of a second, he's speed blitzing hit before he can use the time skip. And on top of that, Goku was struggling for a period of time when it came to Dyspo's speed. He was able to predict where he'd be because Dyspo's movements are very linear, and so before he could get hit, he goes to Super Saiyan Blue and tries to cut him off, but he misses. However, it's very obvious that both Hit and Goku can't match Dyspo from a speed standpoint. The only reason why Hit gets the upper hand on Dyspo is because Dyspo was using his hearing to perceive the sounds of Hit tensing up. And as a result, Hit is using that to fake out Dyspo. So when Dyspo comes charging in there, he is charging into a Hit that's not using time skip. And as a result, Hit can predict where he's gonna be and cut him off. Goku and Hit are not moving at FTL speeds. Using certain instincts and intelligence, they're able to predict where he's going to be, but they cannot move at FTL speeds. Until there's further evidence to where combat speed-wise, Dragon Ball Z characters can move 100 times faster than light, I don't want to hear that shit. Goodness. Right, so how you guys perceive that, meaning the folks that are into that kind of stuff, how you perceive that is up to you. But you know how I perceive it, FTL. That's it. FTL. And that only applies to like one character. When it comes to reaction speed, Goku and Hit are more so predicting where he's going to be as opposed to reacting, because again, apparently Dyspo's movements are very linear. And still all the while not able to take down Dyspo, though Hit ultimately would have after he had done like mad fakes. And then Vital says herself, when it comes to a battle of speed, you hesitate for an instant and that could cost you the match. And Dyspo clearly hesitated, and as a result, in comes Hit, usual stance, happy feet. Happy feet, wombo combo, when it comes to character, that's essentially it. I would say that the character port of Kunshin is important, but it's not, because Kunshin has a rope thing. He lays on some kind of mines, energy mines, but he was taken out at the end of the episode. Not really a big deal when it comes to Kunchi. So when it comes to character, Dyspo is way more important compared to Kunchi, and that's it. And then finally, I do want to say that the animation overall, I thought it was okay plus. There were some parts that were repeated scenes, and it's like, but at the same time, it's Toei. We're used to Toei doing that kind of stuff, but it still is not a good thing, on number one. Number two, the scenes where Hit and Dyspo were rushing at each other were some pretty cool scenes. Albeit, it was done 3 times, the same scene, but it was still cool scenes. So when it comes to episode rating, I would say it is a good episode of Dragon Ball Super. That is going to be a 7 out of 10. It was overall good. It has its downs, but I think the pros outweigh the cons in this episode. So overall, I would say it was a good episode. Once again, a 7 out of 10. And that's it. I am done. Be sure to rate the video. It is not that hard to do. Oh, especially when you all have a device called Zmouse Ooh. You use Zmouse Ooh to click, click, click. Rate the video. Yes, there will be Zmouse t-shirts. When? In the near future, potentially. Be sure to click on that bell to join the squad after you subscribe. And of course, comment in the comment section down below. Peace, and have a nice goddamn day.